Alright guys, we are back with round 3 hat format at Epic Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got Bob on the left playing Artifact Gravekeepers versus Zach on the right playing hat. I believe both these guys are X1, but this was 4 rounds, cut the top 8. So winner here has a chance to make top 8 if they win the final round, while loser has a very, very slim chance of making it. So Bob went first, set 3 back rows, and Zach summons Trap Tricks Murmurleo. Murmurleo, when it's normal summon, you can search a normal hold trap card from your deck to your hand. Now, Bob's a regular. He's kind of known for playing these off-the-wall decks and deck choices. He's played all 3 formats. He's played Edison, Tengu, and Hat. Some of you guys may remember when he played the Quasar deck in like our first few Hat tournaments. So Bob activates Artifact Sanctum, which special summons Artifact from your deck. Special summon Beagle Tack. And Beagle Tack, when it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, you can destroy 1 or 2 set cards you control. But I believe it's minimum 1, so you do have to pop 1. So he pops his Moral Attack, and Moral Attack, when it's destroying your spell and trap card zone during your opponent's turn, you special summon it, and if you do, destroy a face-up card your opponent controls doesn't target. Alright, so it looks like he's going to attack him with Moral Attack. And here he compulses the Moral Attack back to Bob's hand. Yeah, Bob's already got 2 wins on the channel, while Zach still kind of new. He did play, I think I featured him once during Edison, but he only played a little bit of Edison. He's playing more Hat. Alright, so now Zach summons Trap Tricks Dionea, which when it's normal summon, you special summon a Trap Tricks monster from your graveyard. He brings back Trap Tricks Murmurleo, and Murmurleo, when it's special summoned, destroy a spell and trap card your opponent controls. So he didn't go for the new ones, because the new ones could be the Moral Attack that Bob set. So that's when he went for the old one. Now he's going to XYZ summon into Black Ship of Corn. So Black Ship of Corn is a rank 4. You can attach 1 material to send a face-up monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to Black Ship. Send it to the grave, and if you do, your opponent takes 1,000 damage. And Black Ship, it cannot attack the turn you use that effect. Alright, now here comes 5 from Bob. 5 back rows from Bob. 2 of them are artifacts. So I know Hat format gets a bad rep for like the set 5 decks. But a lot of the times they're sending artifacts back there. So you can kind of read them at times. That's something I've noticed. Like all my opponents will set 5 and I'll play through their back rows and then they can't stop anything. So I'm like, okay, you probably have 2 artifacts back there. Alright, so oh no, yeah, see, Zach, I probably would not have gone for those 2. I would have went for some of the other ones. So here, Bob, he snipes Artifact Ignition, so Zach's going to have to skip his battle phase. But Bob could have chained the Ignition and popped his Moral Attack. Yeah, he could have done that. Popped his Moral Attack and got a Moral Attack out, but he chose not to. Maybe he's out of artifacts, because you have to have, oh yeah, he's probably out of artifacts. You have to, for Ignition, it's kind of like an MST, but you have to have artifacts in your deck when you activate it. But I think at Res, you don't have to have them. That's what I remember. Creighton did that to me one time where we played. He ignitioned his own card while he had an artifact in his deck. Then he chained Sanctum to get his last artifact out of his deck. It's a pretty good play by him. I was upset because I didn't know it worked that way. Alright, so now Bob passes back to Zach. Who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for Bob because I actually wanted to make this deck, this GK deck, with artifacts. I would play a little bit differently than Bob, though. Like, I would probably only play Moral Attack, no Beagle Attack. So here, Zach XYZ summons Abyss Dweller, which is a quick effect during either player's turn. You can attach a material to basically negate your opponent's graveyard effects for the rest of the turn. So he runs into Gravekeepers Recruiter. Then Bob activates Artifact Sanctum, which special summons Moral Attack from his deck. And Zach activates Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare, what does Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare do? If a monster that was special summoned this turn uses his effect, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy it. So he destroys Moral Attack. So yes, Zach should use Black Ship's effect because Bob is under Dweller, and I believe Recruiter has to go to the graveyard. I'm almost positive it has to go to the graveyard, so he should definitely use Black Ship of Corn. Alright, so now Zach's up a bunch of cards. It's like that Necro Valley is not even hurting Zach. The only thing it's gonna stop is the Soul Charge if Zach plays it. The Call the Haunted. Alright, so he switches Recruiter to attack mode. Tries to attack into Dweller. They're both at 17, thanks to Necro Valley. Zach, Mirror Forces, Chain Dweller. He doesn't Chain Dweller, so yeah, I guess I don't know what he's holding the Dweller for. Recruiter's like the only thing you can stop. I guess the artifacts too, yeah. So he searches Recruiter with Recruiter. Then activates. I believe this is like a Call the Haunted for Gravekeepers that's unaffected by Necro Valley. Looks like Zach's gonna let it go through. Oh, still battle phase. Okay. So he crashes the Dweller, and Zach doesn't. Zach didn't use Dweller's effect, so he could have negated that Recruiter. Unless if I'm wrong. Let me go look it up. I'm pretty sure it has to go to the graveyard. But I've been wrong before. Yep, sent to your graveyard. Oh, sorry, that's just funny. Alright, so here comes Pot of Duality. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one of them to your hand, then shuffle. You can't special summon in turn, use Duality. And you can only activate 1 Duality per turn. So you choose Artifact Moral Attack. So one thing I've noticed is, depending on the decks, these hat videos are just much longer than my Edison videos. Like, especially when it's Black Wings. Man, those Black Wing videos I've uploaded recently have been just like, boom, quick. Alright, so he attacks him with 35. Leaves Bob at 35. Sets 2 more back rows. One of them being a Moral Attack. So 35, 77. Come on, Bob. You gotta take GKs to the top cut, man. I want to see GK. I like seeing variety. That's one of the reasons why I think Tengu format didn't really do too well at the locals, because at least at my area, everyone was playing plants and agents. Alright, so now he's going to hit him. He attacks over Recruiter and then attacks him directly with Ice Hand, leaving Bob at 21. Bob search another Recruiter. Now Zach, look at this, 9 back rows. I think his ignitions are dead. That's why he's not setting them. Let's see, what will Bob do? Do you just set Recruiter? What will Bob do? I think his hand's kind of trash. He's got at least 1 Moral Attack down there, so he sets a monster. And what does Zach have? Zach activates Artifact Ignition to ignition his own Scythe. Then he sets Moral Attack, and then Scythe special summons itself. I'm surprised he's main decking Scythe. It's a really good card. I think that card got banned in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! A few years ago. I remember people were calling for that card to get banned forever. But I think in Edison, I would consider it more of a side card. I don't like it in the main deck. It's not generic enough. It's going to be bad in certain matchups. But then it'll be really good in some. So he attacked over the Recruiter with Black Ship. And then this might be game if Bob can't stop. Yeah, okay, so that's game. So Zach takes game 1. That's unfortunate. I was rooting for Bob. I want to see GK. There was actually, I had no idea. There was actually 2 GK players at the local that day. Who was the other one? I forgot his name. I forgot who it was. All right, so Bob's going for... Oh, yeah, Bob's playing Trap Tricks in his GK deck as well. It's not bad, though, when you really think about it, because you open Necro Valley bottomless. Pretty good opening, you know? So Bob activates Necro Valley, sets a monster, sets a back row. Whoops. All right. Zach sets 5. Come on, guys. Can we please just stop setting 5? Just do 4, man. So, all right. So now Bob flips, summons Gravekeeper Spy. Zach lets it go. But, like, do you even want to pop his back rows? Let's say you grab Descendant, right? Okay, he grabs this card. I don't even know what this card is. I'm going to go read it. Is it this one? Yeah, Zach's reading it, too. I think it's Gravekeeper Shaman. Gains 200 defense for each Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard. Negate all monster effects to activate in the graveyard except Gravekeeper monsters. While Necro Valley is on the field, your opponent cannot activate field spell cards. Also, field spell cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Okay. I guess this one just you bring it out with Spy. So he attacks with Spy, puts back the Shaman. I think it's Shaman. I could be wrong, though. And then here comes Double Cyclone, which is like an MST, but you have to target one card you control, one card your opponent controls. So he targets Mortal Attack and Bob's set back row, which is... It's Torrential. And then Mortal Attack will special summon itself since it is Bob's turn. He pops the Spy. I don't know. Should he have gone for Necro Valley? He probably went for Spy in case Bob has another Necro Valley, then he can't really run over the... No, he could still run over the Spy because it would be at 17. Yeah, I think maybe you go for Necro Valley there with the Mortal Attack. But Bob could have another one. All right, now Zach summons Fire Hand. Let's see, does Bob have a response? It's a Recruiter. And Bob is going to search. Okay, let me go read this card. This card is Gravekeepers Heretic. I think that's how you pronounce it. Slow 4 Dark, 1800 attack. This card on the field is unaffected by all other card effects as long as Necro Valley is also on the field. Okay. So here he end phase ignitions Zach's Call. What a bad hit. The card he can't activate on a Necro Valley. Oh, man. That was a terrible hit. Let's see if it matters. We'll see what the other two backwards are for Zach. Come on, Bob. Bob sets a monster. I mean, Zach can't deal. That's what I was saying. He maybe should have gone for the Necro Valley with Mortal Attack. So Mortal Attack attacks into Spy. So he's going to take 400. And then Spy will special summon a Gravekeeper from his deck. Which one? Which one will you bring out, Bob? Bob takes another Recruiter. Man, does Bob even play Descendant? When I think of Gravekeepers, I think of Spy, Recruiter, Descendant. Royal Tribute. So this is a way different version. How you drew Sanctum. I mean, I'd play Sanctum in almost any deck. I've been thinking about putting Sanctum in my Sylvan deck. That's how good Sanctum is. Maybe splashing some. Is there a level 5 Sylvan monster I can throw into my deck? All right. So he summons the Heretic Gravekeeper. This card on the field is unaffected by all other card effects as long as Necro Valley is also on the field. So, I believe that means he's unaffected by Necro Valley as well. So he attacks the Moral. Okay, so yes. I think this was an illegal move from Bob. That thing should be unaffected by Necro Valley as well. So that Heretic monster is supposed to be at 18. But neither player caught it. So Bob destroyed Fire Hand. So Fire Hand's effect says if this card in your possession is destroyed either by your opponent's card, it's destroyed by your opponent's card either by battle or card effect. Fire Hand, I'll go over Ice Hand at the same time. Fire Hand destroys a monster your opponent controls, then you can special summon Ice Hand from your deck. Ice Hand destroys a spell or trap, then you can special summon a Fire Hand from your deck. They work with each other. But they can miss timings. They're kind of like Dupe Frogs for us Edison players. Because they say when, so you can like make them miss timing, like MSTing yourself or stuff like that. Alright, so he attacks into Recruiter with Ice Hand. So you see here he's going to pop the set Sanctum. Ooh, what a good hit. Yeah, Bob's going to be able to pop another card. Yeah, come on, Bob. Pop something. So he pops a Fire Hand. And then Recruiter pops Recruiter with Fire Hand. Fire Hand special summons Ice Hand. Now Recruiter. This is a weird. Is that right? I don't know. There was so much going on here. Yep, this was weird. He popped the Sanctum and then popped the Recruiter. I wonder if they did this right. If they got it wrong, let me know in the comments, guys. I can't really think about it right now. It'll give me a headache. So here he brings out Fire Hand. Now the good news is, oh no, he got rid of the Necro Valley. All right, so now that Heraldic monster is affected from Fire Hand, so he can pop that card as well if he wants to. Especially if he has another Ice Hand in his deck. I think he's playing the full copies because he's already got 2 Fire Hands in the graveyard. Yep, so Fire Hand crash into the Heretic, and now pop it because Necro Valley is no longer in the field. Now he's affected by Fire Hand. Oh, he didn't have the other Ice Hand. Maybe he only plays 3 fire, 2 ice? I've seen some people do that. So here, Bob activates Commandant, searches another Necro Valley. $8,059. Who's up on cards? I think Bob's up. But Bob did go first, so he searches Trap, Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare. All right. Does Bob still have the Shaman in his hand? Yeah, I think he does. He never summoned it. Yeah, it's still there in his hand. So here comes Necro Valley and a 2 more back rows. Ooh, yeah, this has been a long match. They're just both going back and forth. All right, 64-43. Zach passes. He drew. No, did he draw the other Nightmare? Is he on 2? So now he leaves Zach at 27. Sets a 4th back row. So what's left in in Bob's hand? The Shaman and some other card. So here comes Soul Charge. Oh no, you can't use Soul Charge. Necro Valley, and Zach concedes. All right, so we are going to game 3. Who will move on with a chance to still make top 8? Bob or Zach? Zach summons Murmileo. He's going to search. Let's see what he decides to search. Searches Bottomless with the Murmileo. Now here comes Duality. Reveals Ignition, Scythe. Yeah, you should probably, if you do play Scythe in your main deck, maybe against GK you should side it out. So he gets the MST probably to out the Necro Valley. Oh, he sided a Nobleman. That's probably for Girgia, and then you kind of just use it against GKs too. Again, set 5. Please, guys, stop with this set 5. All right, so here comes Murmileo from Bob. What do you get? Bottomless 2? And then set 5 yourself? No, he gets Trap, Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare. So here comes Commandant. It's like, who cares about Royal Tribute? Like, what are you going to get? 1 card maybe from his hand? He's only got 1 card. Duality from Bob. He adds Wiretap. I don't know that counter trapped's name. I'll look it up if it comes up. So Bob's probably gonna try and crash the Murmileos here. And Bob sets 4 and passes. So he doesn't activate his Necro Valley. He has Necro Valley and a second Duality in his hand. And here comes MST from Zach. MST, Bob's Trap, Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare. Then activates Artifact Ignition to ignition his warning. And now he's going to set an artifact. He says Beagle Tack. So this tells me he either has A, double Cyclone, or B, another artifact ignition in his spell and trap card zone. Alright, draw. Mind Control. Oof. Now what do you do? 101 to play around the back rows? I don't know. We'll see. Do you go Diamond Direwolf? So he goes for Ragna 0. Okay, that's pretty good against GKs. So he attacks for 24, and here comes D Prison. Yeah, bro. Does he have Wiretap too? Bob probably sides in D Prison for the hands. Good hit from Bob. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just tired all of a sudden. Alright, so he summons Recruiter. Then Necro Valley. This was good because he can bottomless your Recruiter if you play the Necro Valley first. Attack with Recruiter for 17. Now Bob activates Duality, reveals Duality, Commandant, and the Heretic. He adds the Heretic to his hand. How many cards does Bob have? Bob's only got 4, while Zach's got, what, 6? So now Bob, sorry, Zach, Zach, yeah, so Necro Valley, you can't use Soul Charge. That's the one beauty of GKs is Necro Valley stops Soul Charge and Call and a few other cards. Yeah, so he moved it to the middle so that way Zach could see it. So Bob must not be playing Descendant because he has not summoned it. So 17 and looks like he's gonna flip that back row. What is it? A Mirror Force? Oh, Cyclone. Okay, double Cyclone. Yeah, probably target the Necro Valley. That way you can Soul Charge him next turn. Unless no, you hit the back row because yeah, hit the back row. Then you Beagle Tack, bring back. It depends. If you have a Moral Attack, then yeah, you go for the back row. So yeah, Beagle Attack, special summon itself. Target the Moral Attack. Now, the Heretic is unaffected, so yeah, pop the Necro Valley. Now he can't run over either one of your monsters, and then next turn you can make it rank 5 XYZ. So here comes the Soul Charge for 1. Yeah, Bob's. It's not looking good for Bob. I don't even know what that trap card does, but now you just make Pallades and bounce his monsters. Heck, I think you just bounce the Recruiter. Oh no, he can't attack. Ooh, but you kind of gotta bounce right away, right before he. Depends on his back rows, because Bob can make Exciton Knight here. Yeah, Bob should have probably just made Exciton Knight. Attacks. Now Zach activates Pallades' effect, so return the Necro Valley. Oh, to make him take what? 400. Yeah, I think Bob should have just went Exciton. He would have blown up his whole field. Unless, does he know he has Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare? No, he searched Bottomless turn 1, right? Has he used the Bottomless? Alright, here comes Necro Valley. Oh, Nobleman. He Noblemans the Recruiter. And now Pallades attacks over the Heretic for 700. Yeah, I don't see any monsters banished. So, yeah, you know one of those back rows is Bottomless. So, yeah, I think Bob should have gone Exciton there. We'll see. I'm curious what that other back row is for Zach. Because I think Exciton would have been good. So, now he summons Murmileo. Yeah, you can't even Bottomless that card because it's unaffected by whole normal trap cards. So Murmileo searches Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare. So that's one. And what else does he have? It's not like Nightmare's going to stop your Pallades, because Nightmare only stops a monster that was special summoned this turn. So now, yeah, this is not looking good for Bob. Ice Hand's going to run into... I wouldn't even go for the Nightmare. Go for the other one. Or go for the Necro Valley. Yeah. Good move. Go for the Necro Valley. Now, the only issue is Fire Hand won't pop anything. Yeah, this is just attack over it, and then it's him directly for 16. Leave him at, what, 24? Yeah, Bob's on the clock now. Let's see, can Bob get out of this? Bob activates Duality, reveals Ignition, Spy, and the Shaman. If he adds Spy, will Zach just bounce it back to Bob's hand? Let's see. Depends on those two back rows. So Bob chooses the Spy. Yeah, he might just bounce back the Spy. He knows one of your back rows is Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare. So yeah, just bounce the Spy, and that might be game. Yep. Bounce the Spy. Nope, Bob can't do it. Bob read it too. Summons Dianea, and that is game. So Zach is moving on with a chance to make top 8. I don't think Bob had the tiebreakers, even if he won the last round. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that match. Let me know if I missed anything. I'm sorry, I was like passing out. Also, check out our store, Epic Cards and Games. I'll leave a link in the description. If you guys want to get 5% off cards or mats, sleeves, whatever, use my coupon code on Oscar's Lay. All that information will be in the description. All right. Bye, guys.